Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. This is your Red Engineer, and today I have a new creation powered by all of these command blocks behind me. And what I have made is a cash machine or ATM, or how do you want to call it? You get the idea. So I'm going to first quickly demonstrate you how it works and then show you the command blocks behind the system. So that's the cash machine. I have to just go here, press the button, and an interface appears. And now you see that I have a really big balance. I wish I had this in real life. And what I can do, I can withdraw money or deposit, and there's different values of money that I can withdraw. So I can take $5, dollars, or you can change it with whatever your currency is, $10, $200, and $500. Now, so I have calculated the value of these items based on their rarity and how you use them. For example, gold is useless, so it values just $5. Iron ingots, they value $10. And I said, let's make it possible so people can also change between different items. For example, if you input two $5, let's say banknotes, you can get back a $10 iron ingot. And since the diamonds are a lot more rare than iron, you have to deposit 20 iron ingots in order to withdraw a diamond. And since the emerald is the rarest mineral, I said let's give it a value of $500. So if you want to take an emerald, you need to input 2 diamonds and also some more iron. Now if I'm going to withdraw more emeralds, you see that my balance is going down. Okay, I almost finished my money from the bank account, and you can see that I have only $400 and it doesn't give me any more emeralds because my balance is not 500. So what I can do, I can take, for example, a $200 or keep taking iron ingots. Now if I try to take $200, you see I have just $130 left. I can't withdraw $200. All I can do, I can withdraw $10 or $5. And if my balance is 0, I can't take anything. So I had $65,000 or something like that. Look at how many emeralds I have now. One good thing is that you can trade stuff with villagers and get emeralds, so you can easily transform them into diamonds or iron ingots or gold ingots if you need them. Then if you finished, you click on exit, and there we go. And one thing that you can see is that when you enter in a transaction mode, you cannot move, you cannot jump, and you also have these effects. So let's say that you're in a multiplayer server and someone wants to attack you. Even if you can't move, you have an infinite resistance, so he can't deal any damage to you. And this is to avoid annoying people kicking you and punching you when you're doing your transaction. One other thing is that no one can use the cash machine if someone else is already using it. The system is written so only one player at a time can use the cash machine. And once you click on exit, then here's the moment where another player can go and use the cash machine. The player is obligated to press on exit so he can move away and go back to his home. If you want to deposit some money, that's way simpler. You go in transaction mode again and you just have to drop these items here, and you can see that my balance is going up. I have $10,000. Let's go 20,000. Let's add gold ingots. You see that it goes up by $5, and if I drop iron ingots, it goes up by $10, diamonds by $200, and emeralds by $500. Okay, and I have back $65,000, and I can go away, and I don't have to fear people stealing my ingots, stealing my stuff, because I've deposited them in the bank. Is this multiplayer compatible, you may ask me? Yes, it is fully multiplayer compatible. As I said, once a player clicks on that button, no one can use the cash machine, and he also can't go away, so he needs to press exit in order to be able to go away. And what happens if you're in transaction mode and someone drops items inside here? well, they will go in your balance. So if they want to do it, they will deposit their ingots in your bank account. So guys, that is how the cash machine works. Oh, and also one last thing guys is that if you're not in transaction mode, you see that you can still see this message in the chat. What happens if I click that? Well, since you are not in transaction mode, you can't do anything. You see that it gives you an error message, and you see nothing will work. And also, if let's withdraw some money. Okay, so I can show you exit. Okay, if you're not in transaction mode and you drop items, nothing will happen. And make sure that you don't have items already deposited, and because when you click them, it will take them, but it will count them as one item. So even if you have a stack of emeralds, it will give you only $500. So guys, make sure that you drop the items one by one. So as I said, it is fully multiplayer compatible, and it works. This is Minecraft 1.9. You can't remake this in Minecraft 1.8 because of course you don't have these types of command blocks. And I'm sorry for people that are playing on Xbox edition, Pocket edition, because you guys don't have command blocks in those versions of the game. Hopefully Mojang will add them so all the people can benefit of my creations. And now let's go and show you guys the most interesting part, commands. And before going into the commands, I have to show you, because you have to do some preliminary things. You have to create this scoreboard objective named bank, and you'll see why we need it after. Press this button and then it creates the scoreboard, and then you have to copy this command block here. Go remove just one moment this button, go here and activate it. Now I'm not going to activate it because I have already done it before, and what it does, it creates an invisible armor stand named cash machine. This armor stand is really important because it will be used by the commands to understand where the cash machine is. Then you press on always active and click done. I'm not going to do it because I have already did it. Then remove it and place the button again. One last thing to mention, you guys can make the cash machine look how you want it to look. It doesn't matter, it can be inside the wall, it can be wherever you guys want. Just make sure that there is a button inside the armor stand, so where you place the command block, then replace it with a button. It is really important because the command blocks will test for this button relative to the armor stand that we just created. So if we go in game mode 3, you can see that there's an armor stand. Make sure that the button is at the feet of this armor stand. Now let's go back in game mode 1, and here we have 3 different columns of command blocks. I'm going to stay still for a moment so you guys can replicate this in your world. If you're going to create this machine, make sure to place the exact amount of command blocks here on the first column, on the second and the third one. Make sure that these purple command blocks are set on repeating, unconditional and always active, and these command blocks here with the arrow shape on chain, conditional and always active. So make sure that all the command blocks look the same as in my video. You can pause the video, go and create these columns in your world, and then come back and see what you have to paste inside and how the machine works. Done? Okay, perfect. Now that you created the columns, let's go and show you what the first one does. So these first 3 command blocks, they detect if a player is in transaction mode. So whenever a player goes in transaction mode, he receives a tag named transaction. The first command block, what it does, relative to the armor stand named cash machine, it sees if there's a player that does not have a transaction tag. So if no one does have that tag in a radius of 8 blocks, then it will add a value to that armor stand on the bank scoreboard. So basically, in some easy words, scoreboard objectives bank. Okay, so what it does, basically, if no one is in transaction mode, it will add a number to that armor stand, and that's it. Now if I go in transaction mode, you see that this thing stopped giving a number to that armor stand, and as soon as I exit, it goes again. So the next command block is set to conditional, meaning that it will work only if this command block executed the command. So this command block will only work if this command block added a value to the scoreboard of that armor stand. If it did so, this command block will tag the player with transaction, and This third command block will just generate that sound that you can hear when I press the button. Perfect. So, you remember that the counter goes up only if there's a player without the transaction tag. The first command block increases this number. The second command block gives the transaction tag to players that are near that armor stand. And since now the player has a transaction tag, then this number will not go up and this whole system will stop. So it will not generate that sound infinitely, and also it will not keep giving the transaction tag to all the players near it. That was the most, let's say, difficult part because it involves a bit of logic and it's a system that I have never used. I'm really happy for finding it. These three command blocks here will give the protective effects that you see when a player is on transaction mode. So these three effects, it's really simple. If you want to see what's inside, well, it's just effect. To all the player with a transaction tag, it will give them a jump boost with an amplifier of 240. When this amplifier is so big, well, the player is not able to jump. Then slowness 10 will make the player unable to walk. And the last one will give a resistance effect. Then this command block here will generate the chat interface, this exact message here. It is a really long command, and you will find all of these commands on my website page. There's a link in the video description. Go click it and you'll have all of the commands. They will be sorted with column 1, column 2 and column 3. So this message, even if you can see it, it is constantly generated. So you see, if I type something in the chat, it disappears because it's replaced by this message. Boom, it is instant. Now let me exit. Once I exit from this, it will stop giving me that message and I can see the chat again. These last command blocks will add the 4 different items to the bank scoreboard. They will detect 4 items and give them a different score on the bank scoreboard. And as you can see, the text, for example, now all gold ingot items will receive a score of 1. So let's take a gold ingot, oops, and you see that here you have 1. If we add another one, you see that they keep appearing in the scoreboard, and as long as I remove them, they will disappear. Oops, I left one here. Iron ingots, they will get a score of 2, diamonds a score of 3, and emeralds a score of 4. These command blocks are used so we can check what type of items the player is dropping in the cash machine and therefore increase his balance depending on the item. All of these command blocks here, this really big column, the second column, what it does the same thing for all of the different values that the player can withdraw. So all of these command blocks, they will make the withdraw system work. Now, if I go in transaction mode, every time that I click one of these messages, the command will give me a different tag. So whenever I click on 5, it will give me a tag named take 5. If I press $10, it will give me a tag named give 10. For this one, give 200 and give 500. So whenever a player has, for example, a tag of 5, now you see that on this scoreboard, this one is my balance. Every time that a player starts to drop items here, he will be added to the scoreboard, and all scoreboards are personal. So I, for example, cannot use the bank account of another person. And this command block here, to all players that have a tag of take 5, so you remember that whenever I press this, I will get a tag of take 5. Whenever I have this tag, it will remove me 5 units to the bank account. If this happened, this command block that is set to conditional will then generate a gold ingot. Now, since this command block here is set on conditional, it will work only if this command block here executed the command. So let's say that my bank balance is 0. If it is 0, this command block here, so also this command block here removes 5 units only if I have minimum 5 units. So let's say that I have $0 in my bank account. Well, this command block will not work because of course it will take 5 units only to players that have at least $5. Because therefore the player will go in a negative balance. Then if this command block doesn't work, of course this one will not work because it's set to conditional, and therefore it will not generate gold ingot. Then the third command block, what it does, it removes the take 5 tag to the player, so it doesn't constantly generate gold ingots in front of the cash machine. So it doesn't constantly give me gold ingots. These 3 command blocks here are the same as these 3, and this last 3 command blocks. They do all the same thing. The only thing is that they check for 10 and therefore they give an iron ingot to the player, and remove the take 10 tag. This one here checks if the player has at least $200 in the bank account. If it is so, it removes $200 and therefore gives to the player a diamond. And these ones do the same for emeralds. Now this last line of command blocks, the third line, will make depositing money work. And these 4 command blocks here will add a different value on the scoreboard of each player depending on the item that he drops. You know that these command blocks here will give a number on the bank scoreboard to the different items that we drop. Well, if we drop for example an emerald, it will give to that emerald a score of 4. Now this command block here will check if there are items near the cash machine that have a value of 4. You can see now it's checking if there's an emerald in a radius of 1 block near the cash machine armor stand, and if there is one, all it does, it adds 500 units to the bank account of that player. Same for this one, it gives $200 whenever a diamond is dropped, and $10 whenever an iron ingot is dropped, and $5 whenever a gold ingot is dropped. And this last command block here will kill the items, so of course, because therefore the player will be able to take back his money, and that's not how cash machines work. So guys, that was it. That's probably the most complicated thing that I have created. If you're interested, I have also made working TARDISes in vanilla Minecraft and working Harry Potter tents, same in vanilla Minecraft using command blocks. I am in Minecraft 1.9 PC version. It doesn't work on Xbox, PlayStation or Pocket Edition or Windows 10 Edition because sadly Mojang didn't add command blocks on those versions. If you want, you can reproduce this system in your vanilla server. I don't know if it works on Bucket or Spigot servers, you can give it a try, and I'm really sure that this works on Realms. One thing that I didn't mention is that you can build more cash machines in the same world. Make sure that there's at least 10-20 blocks of distance between them, and yeah, they will work just fine. And let's say that you have 10 cash machines in the same world, then 10 players can use them at the same time. The important thing is that they're using different cash machines. So guys, that was my how to make a working cash machine in my vanilla Minecraft tutorial. I hope that you guys liked it. If you did so, please leave a big like under this video and subscribe to the channel if you're new. So yeah guys, have a nice week, enjoy your cash machine and your bank account, and I'll see you all guys in my next video. Bye!